friends, and welcome back to Ration Nerd. It is awesome that you guys took some of your time out of your busy days to spend with this goofball, checking out this goofy-ass hobby that I happen to do here on the YouTube. This is an MRE from the Royal Thai Army, and as you can see, this is an enormous ration. No, I'm joking. It's actually really tiny. I really do have big paws. However, that is not a very big ration at all. This thing comes in at about 900 calories. It weighs just over a pound. It's not super heavy. In point of fact, it weighs 529 grams. Not hard to believe. This thing is not super heavy. It's not very big, but it does have 900 calories in this tiny little bag. I guess that's not hard to do if you were just pack it full of carbs, which it pretty much is. And for this small, little, relatively light bag, 900 calories is pretty bitchin'. So we're going to break into this thing. We are going to find out exactly what you get in a Royal Thai Army MRE. This ration has a best by date of July of 2025, so we're well within date. If it didn't get the absolute shit baked out of it on its way here, it should be just fine. The shipping process does have a tendency to add a lot of heat stress to things, especially when they sit in customs for long periods of time. They give no shits about your packages. They let them bake. It doesn't really matter. We're going to crack into this and have a lot of fun with it together. And I have a couple of channel announcements I want to get out of the way. First being, the Patreon page is in the final stages of being set up, which means this is the first victim on the chopping block. This is the first ration I'm going to give away after the first 30 days of my Patreon being active, which should be by the time next week video drops. Next week's video, by the way, is going to be a 24-hour Royal Malaysian Police ration. That ought to be pretty bitchin'. I just couldn't get that ration out this week. Too much real life stuff going on. Anyway, once I hit 100 Patreon members, I will do a giveaway every month. Anything from a ration, a complete ration, to lots of accessories. So for the first giveaway, I'm going to be doing this South Korean ration. I want to hook one of you guys up with one of these rations. It ought to be really cool. And after that, once I hit 100 Patreon members, I will be giving away an item every month. It will either be a complete ration or it will be some mains, sides, accessories, etc. in a box from rations all over the place. So you could get a bunch of side items, drinks, coffees, teas. I do happen to have one whole section of an Italian ration that has not been touched, like a dinner section. So you could be getting dinner out of an Italian ration. All kinds of really cool shit after the first 30 days of the Patreon, regardless of how many Patreons have signed up. I will be giving away this ration. So if you want to get your mouth on this, you should sign up for Patreon. I'm going to give away a good bit of complete rations because I have a metric shit ton of rations. Some of them I will never have the time to get to, so that means you're going to get to them. That'll be pretty badass. It will help me support the channel. The whole point of the Patreon is just to help me keep up with this hobby. This hobby will literally drain your bank account like a crazy man. I'm not trying to get rich doing this. I'm just looking for a little support. So if you want to support me and potentially get a free ration or a bunch of free other shit in the process, hit me up on Patreon, on this YouTube page, hopefully by next week, as long as the people at Patreon do the things and hit the buttons and improve me. So there's going to be two tiers on Patreon, a $3 tier and a $5 tier. The $3 tier is saying, hey, Ration Nerd, I really like the stuff that you're doing and I want to help support you. The $5 tier is, I really like the stuff that you're doing and I absolutely want a chance to win some free shit. This being the first free shit that gets given away. So that's epic. Let's get back to this goddamn ration. That was a lot of rambling. So let's just open this up and see what is inside. I have tried very hard to pre-translate some of this stuff. Google Translate is not my buddy. So let's see, is this a tear notch? It's not a tear notch. So we're just going to go ahead and cut this thing open. So let's see what 900 calories of Royal Thai Army goodness looks like. Hey, we have some dried pineapple right out of the gate. That's kind of a cool item. That's really neat. Feels like it's a mix of like hard and kind of chewy gooey. That ought to be pretty decent. Some dried pineapple action. And this is going to be 130 grams of basil chicken. Thank God you're not fish. So I'll take it. Basil chicken sounds pretty amazing. It's a very small portion, but hey, it's a 900 calorie ration. So the main bulk of this thing is this jasmine rice. That is a pretty large and in charge container of that. And what's worrisome about this large and in charge brick of jasmine rice is it does seem like the vacuum seal on this is a little bit broken or was never perfect. We're going to have to go at that gently. That's a little bit weird, but we're going to check it out. But we got this big old honkin' block o' jasmine rice in there. That's, well, kind of upside down because, you know, I don't read Thai, sorry. Then we have a spoon, which is relatively flexible, of dubious quality. Little bit of sharp edge action going on, but not too bad. It's a spoon. You eat with it. It's not hateful. That's never a good sign. Like, there's floaties in this. Like, this is some spicy fish sauce, and there's floaties in there. There's shit floating in it. I'm sorry. Like, that just kind of weirds me out. Like, hopefully you guys can see that, but it's just like floaty and gooey and shit's like floating around in there. That kind of skeeves me out a little bit. We'll give it a little nibble, I guess. I mean, it does have some, maybe those are just chilies and it's not like hunks of fish. I don't know. I think an opaque, not see-through container probably would have been ideal for this. That whole squishy action just does nothing for me whatsoever. That's kind of disturbing, but we have some chili fish sauce. Hey, check it out. Doing it right with some 3-in-1 coffee. I'm actually pretty excited about that. With that like epic mega skull logo on the front. That's pretty neat. We have some 3-in-1 coffee. Never ever going to turn down a 3-in-1 coffee. Hopefully that's decent. This is a short ass unboxing. Then we have a Stronk K mineral drink or electrolyte beverage. That is pretty decent. Coming in at 96 calories. Looks like we have orange flavor and we're ready to do some sports activities. Hell yeah. And then we have 3 of these heartbeat candies, which are a little weird. Either they're just a really odd candy that I have no clue what I'm getting into, or they've somehow been really screwed up by heat, because there is a hard section that you can feel through the wrapper, and then there's this squishy bit around the outside. And that's not just an air bubble, because I can feel stuff in between my fingertips. That is a little odd. And they all have that same consistency, that weird gooey outer coating, and then like a hard thing in the middle. I imagine it's probably heart-shaped. That is interesting to say the least. You never know. It could be the most amazing candy on the planet. And, believe it or not, that's everything in the bag. That's a little tiny baby bag of food. But we are going to get all this nonsense out onto a tray after I take these and boil them like Hannibal Lecter, all vicious-like, for about 10 minutes. Then we'll be right back. Alright, so we are back, and as usual, this was boiled for about 8 to 10 minutes, furiously in the pot. Unfortunately, this rice, I tried to break it up before it went in the pot to see if I could get it heated more evenly and get it to stop being just a brick of jasmine rice. Sticker came off and all that shenanigans. It wouldn't break up before it went in the pot. We'll try to get it broken up before we put it on the tray. I still have a feeling this might come out like a brick. And we have our basil chicken. So like usual, first thing, let's make up these drinks. That 3-in-1 coffee. Looking forward to that, regardless of what time of day it is. And that looks a whole lot like a standard 3-in-1 coffee. Actually smells a little malty. That might be interesting. Smells more like malt than it does coffee. That's a little strange. And let's check out this Stronk K electrolyte beverage. That ought to be pretty cool. I like things when they have goofy ass names. And there's quite a bit of powder in that package. Oh, and that smells like lemon floor cleaner. That ought to be great. Get your pour on for the 3-in-1 coffee. And don't hate. Just fucking hydrate. And because this spoon is exceptionally short and thin, I'm going to bring in some reinforcements just simply to stir these drinks. I do have to say there's a lack of toilet paper and other types of accessories that normally come with a ration, even a single meal, but I do like the fact that they have a hot and a cold drink, so that's pretty cool. I am a little upset that you don't even get a napkin to wipe your face with this thing. I guess you would just use your sleeve or whatever else was at hand. This is a single meal. I am quite frankly unaware of what a Royal Thai military soldier is issued during the course of a day. That information is a little hard to come by, and I haven't been able to find it. If you know it, put it in the comments. That would be really helpful. Now let's get this main out on the tray. So we'll move that basil chicken out of the way and we'll see. Hey, there we go. With enough application of heat and burning of the fingers, you can soften up that rice brick in here. It still feels like the package lost the vacuum seal. So I made sure I boiled the hell out of this thing, which is why it's like kind of burning my fingers. but at least the rice softened up. I actually really had my doubts when it was in the pot. It just continuously looked like a brick, and as I was taking this off to boil it, I was really smashing this package, trying to get that rice to break up. I really thought I was just going to pour a rice brick out on here. Fortunately, heat did the trick and got this thing ready to go. Tear notches at this side, of course, so I can burn my fingers some more to get to it. Yes, yes, feel the burn. So with the jasmine rice, still nice and hot, still kind of sticking to the inside of the bag. That could actually be a really good sign. Sticky rice is... That's hot. Sticky rice is really good, so I will not be upset if the reason why it was a big brick is because it's a big block of sticky rice, which is generally really tasty. Come on now. To break that, there we go. It still kind of came out in a brick, but at least it's soft now. And before we get that main on top of it, we're going to go ahead and try to bust this up a little bit. It is extraordinarily sticky. I think we're just going to be eating rice clumps because it's really not breaking up back into its original, like, just rice grains. So we'll have some rice clumps. I guess that's kind of okay. It certainly would make this a little easier to eat in the field, but I don't know about just like big old rice hunks. I think anybody would prefer it to be a little bit more broken up than this, especially when you get the sauce out of this chicken on it. You'd want that sauce to be able to penetrate in there to make the rice more interesting. While we're talking about the rice, we'll go ahead and get a bite of that. So that is just a big sticky rice blob there. Like, it's not coming apart, as you can see. So let's get a bite of this jasmine rice. And aside from the texture, where it's all just kind of clumped together in these big gooey hunks, it's actually a really nice tasting jasmine rice. Other than its consistency in these like chunks, it does not taste like it came out of a retort pouch. So that's a total win. Now let's get on to this basil chicken, see what that has to offer. Wow, that smells, very aromatic. Smells like curry. Doesn't smell like basil. Actually, it does. It smells like curry and basil, which is kind of weird. That's kind of an interesting combination that I maybe have experienced and just don't realize it. Because, you know, I'm not exactly a chef, if you haven't been able to tell any of that, nor am I a restaurateur. I'm just a goofball eating rations. So I explain it the best way I possibly can. So let's see, that's got a nice little oil content. Ooh, that just kind of crapped right out of there. That was a little disturbing. So since it's such a small portion, we are going to get every bit of it out of this pack. That's the best. You know, you're sitting here and you're squeezing out all this stuff, and you can see where it got on the edge of the tray and then the table. And I don't know if you can actually catch that on the film footage. I'm going to slow it down, and if you can see it on the film footage, I'm totally going to share it. But literally, I have a drop of this on my shirt right now. Not quite sure how that happened. We went from uh-oh to on the table to fuck you, I'm on your shirt, just like that. And I didn't even really see it happen. It was, but there's a dot of this oily shit on my shirt now. That's great. All right, that's enough chicken pouch squeezing for me. That looks very interesting. Let's get this pineapple out, which actually, as far as like a dried fruit goes, if this is any good, pineapple, in my opinion, is almost one of the best dried fruits. If you sugar it, it's sweet and tangy. Big vitamin C boost. It's like having candy. You really can't go wrong with dried pineapple if you do it right. Oh, one little piece hanging out in there. Get out of there. All right, so this is a pretty simple affair. Before we get that coffee, though, we're going to check out this basil chicken, which is obvious the chicken has been ground. There are some bits of baby corn in there. Looks like we have some red bell peppers. That looks like spinach to me. Could be something else, but it certainly looks like spinach. We have a green pepper in there as well. A lot of really finely minced chicken. More bell pepper. Looks like that is a really tiny baby piece of onion, which doesn't surprise me. Pretty cool. And some other seasonings floating around in here. We're going to go ahead and just smash that on top of the rice to try to get that mixed up a little bit. There's really no sense in churning it because I'm just going to make big hunks of rice shoot meat everywhere. That's not a great idea. So we're just going to kind of smush it down on there. Squish, 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 squish. Not exactly the most attractive thing, but then again, it's certainly not the most unattractive thing that's ever been out on this tray. So I'll take it. You know, it's not great looking, but it's certainly not the worst thing. So, and now it's time to get a sip, a chug, a swig, an artful taste of this 3-in-1 coffee. First, let's give it a sniff. And that smells a lot like Nescafe 3-in-1, which I'm not upset about. Nescafe 3-in-1 is not the best thing on the planet, but when you're looking for coffee, cream, and sugar all in one pouch, it's also not really hateful. So let's give that a sip. That was a 3-sip. That's definitely not Nescafe. It's much stronger than Nescafe. It has a much more pronounced coffee flavor. Nice and creamy, only mildly sweet. I'm totally down with that. It doesn't have to be like dessert. It just has to be a little sweet. That's perfect. If you didn't really like sugar in your coffee, you could probably handle that. And if you liked your coffee ultra like tooth rotting sweet, you could get by. But this is pretty much middle of the road, would probably satisfy anybody's coffee needs unless you were like a black coffee drinker, in which case you'd probably hate it. But this coffee is great in the sense that it has a great coffee flavor. It's not really weak, and it would also meet the needs of a wide variety of soldiers. So I completely agree with this. This is good stuff. I'm going to get some more of it because, quite frankly, it's coffee, and coffee deserves the love. I am kind of surprised there wasn't any tea in this ration. I'm really happy about the coffee. I'm not complaining, just shocked there wasn't tea. Now let's give that lemon floor cleaner a try. I mean, this multivitamin electrolyte beverage, that's what it is, right? Right. Let's give that a sniff check now that it's got some water added. Actually, surprisingly smells like nothing now, which is kind of cool because it really did smell like Mr. Clean, like lemon flavored Mr. Clean when I put it in the powder in the glass. But let's give it a taste. And that's really weird. Now that it's mixed with water, and that's a pretty decent amount, probably about 350 mils is what I added to it, that actually has a pretty decent flavor. A little tiny hint of that like lemon floor cleaner kind of taste to it, like that super artificial lemon flavor. But the sweeteners they used in this really help to mask the salt content. That's actually pretty decent. I certainly wouldn't complain about getting that. It's nice and easy to drink, not super interesting, but if you're really thirsty and you're not a big water drinker, which you should be because you should fucking hydrate, it's really not a bad electrolyte beverage. To be fair, not too shabby. Now let's crack into this main. It's kind of singing to me. It's very aromatic, I have to say that. It doesn't smell bad. It certainly has, now that I've kind of tuned my nose up a little bit. It definitely has a curry smell, but it certainly has a very strong basil smell. That's kind of cool. It's ugly, but it smells good. So let's get in here, try to chop out a section of rice to go with our basil ground chicken. Come on, buddy. You can... Come on, buddy. You can do it, buddy. Come on. There we go. That would be... Damn it. That would be great if I just dropped that on my face, but let's try not to. So there... Damn it. There's the first bite of that basil chicken. So one of these days, I'm just going to do the whole spoon. It's going to fall right in my face. Let's get a bite of that and see, bonk, what that is bringing to the table. Holy shit balls. That is spicy as hell. Wow. That, as soon as it hits your mouth, I mean, literally, as soon as it hit the inside of my mouth, I immediately started to feel some burn. That's pretty crazy. That's very spicy. Usually it takes a chew or two for the heat to start to build. That was instantaneously spicy, hot kind of spicy in my mouth. Very salty, probably a really high MSG content. It has that really deep umami flavor, which MSG, even though it gives me headaches in large doses, really does bring a great flavor to a dish. No problem. I have ibuprofen on hand. I'm going to get another bite of that, kind of temper it with a little bit of rice. But that was very interesting. I can't say that I'm in love with the flavor profile per se, but the heat of this, that was actually really good. Oh man, that's still spicy. That's crazy. That's actually really good. The ground chicken is a little bit of a put off for me, although I have to admit that in the packaging and just that 140 gram portion, if it would have been whole pieces of chicken, it would have been harder to get a bite of this with every bite of rice. Whew, wait a minute, that's really spicy. Holy crap. And that drink only helped out just a little bit. That's nuts. So I took this hunk of rice and set it off to the side because, as with every ration, unless it's absolutely spoiled or rancid or something like that, I try everything, even the chili sauce or the fish sauce with the chili floaties in it. I understand. I've looked at this several times. That is just pieces of chilies floating around in there. At least that's what I'm leading myself to believe. So the fish sauce is probably just the liquid. I am going to pour some of this on the rice because I'm not just going to have it on its own. It's a little too disturbing for me to do that. I am going to try some of the fish sauce, but I'm going to try it on some rice to try to, split the difference. Cut it a little bit. Give me something to actually chew on instead of just sucking some fish sauce because that's not my gig at all. All right, fuck, let's just do it. Let's just put a little bit on the spoon, Suck it up. Be a big boy, Mr. Ration Nerd. Have a little fucking fish sauce, man. All right, nice clean spoon. This is really against my better judgment. I'm only doing this because some of you guys are going to be entertained by this, and I guess it's only fair because I do it with other sauces on the regular. Oh, okay. So we even got some of that fish sauce with a little floaty in it. I don't know, this might stop me from putting it on the rice. I don't know. Let's just throw it in the face and see what the face has to say. I'm sure the face is not going to like it. Like, I'm pretty positive. I know I'm being defeatist at this point, but I have been surprisingly shocked by some things before that I thought were going to be nasty, and when I ate them, they were pretty great. So I guess here's hoping for optimism? I don't know. Oh, God. Oh, that doesn't even taste like fish. That is... And I haven't even gotten any spiciness out of it. There was one little tiny, I guess, chili hunk floating around in there. That is so... that is so salty. That is so salty that it made that absolutely taste like candy. And that stuff's not crazy sweet. That's nasty. Like, the salt content is completely off the hook. Like, that is like a little bag of hypertension. That is absolutely crazy. It actually doesn't taste like fish. It just tastes like liquid salt. I'm not really sure what that's all about. Whew. I love I love to torture myself, because we'll put a few drops. We'll put some of that. Just put it out on the tray and we'll just roll some shit around in it. Because wow, I mean, like, you could probably make several pounds of beef jerky with the salt that is in that little container. Holy crap! Oh, that is the salty. I think that is literally the saltiest thing I've ever tasted. I don't know how you get that much salt in that little bit of liquid. That's insane. Absolutely insane. So we'll get one of these chilies because, well, I guess we should. And that's floating around in the bottom of the spoon, just for the record. And we'll put that, what is now a really salty block of rice, in the face, just because I like to try things. And that sauce stinks. That really sucks. I shouldn't have poured that out on the tray. That sauce actually has a really nasty odor to it. It kind of smells like... This is going to be a really weird thing. If you've ever worked with metal before, or if you've ever, like, rifled your hand through a jar of change, and, like, or counting out a whole bunch of change, that smell that's left over on your hands after you've been dealing with a whole lot of change for a while, that's what it smells like. It smells like I opened up a change jar, rifled my hands around in it, and I'm literally sticking my finger under my nose, sniffing my Coinstar fingers right now. I don't know what that's all about. Ugh, that smells hateful. I'm going to go ahead and put this in the face before I decide not to, so in it goes. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, okay. Oh, that's got to go. The smell, that salt content, Jesus. All right, so if you have hypertension, high blood pressure, or otherwise offended by things that are so ridiculously salty that your sphincter, that hole on the other end of your body, starts puckering the entire time that stuff hits your face, that sauce is for you. It's not spicy. It doesn't even taste like fish. I don't even know why they bother calling it fish sauce. It is just pure, unadulterated, refined, and condensed salt juice with some little thingies floating around in it, I guess just for the look of it. Maybe somewhere having shit floating around in your sauce where you can actually see it is a great thing. For me, not so much. That has to go. It smells. It stinks. It smells like pennies. That's foul. Really foul. I'm really happy I did not dump that on the main. But this main is definitely interesting. That sauce, super foul. Fish sauce. Whose idea was that? That was a really bad idea. Like, that flavor. Wow. I'm going back to get me some of this spicy basil chicken, because this is actually turning out to be pretty good. A little strange. I wish the rice had broken up a little bit more to be able to mix this in, but this is really spicy and pretty damn yummy. Oh my God, that's hot and spicy. Wow. I really do like these little pieces of baby corn in there. They're almost kind of crunchy and crispy, almost like they were pickled or something. Let me try that out. Nope, they're certainly not pickled, but they're nice and crunchy and crispy. That's kind of rare for it being inside of a retort pouch. Retort pouch technology will generally take a lot of texture out of food. It's just like canning, just canning in a bag. And it has a tendency to make vegetables and noodles and stuff like that really mushy. But somehow or the other, that mini corn, it survived. It's so spicy, it's got me coughing. I'm a dumbass. That's probably not spinach. That's probably just basil leaves. I'm being a retard. That's okay though. It has that extremely pronounced basil flavor when you get a big old piece of that basil leaf in there. It's actually really amazing. Really hot and spicy. Kind of having a hard time talking because the spice is moving into the back of my throat and really heating the joint up. Oh God, this is like eating tear gas. It's so spicy at this point. Like, my mouth is so on fire. My nose is running. My forehead's sweating. That is really hot. Oh my God. That's an insane main right there. Like, if you need some hot and spicy in your life, this main's got it. Whew, I had to take a break there for a second, simply because the heat, the spice is in the back of my throat. But just throw the fish sauce out. That shit was just there for show. You don't need any other seasoning to go with this. Like I said, no accessories, no salt, no pepper. For the love of God, you don't need any salt, and you certainly wouldn't need any pepper. I don't know exactly what you would add to this in any way, shape, or form, other than maybe just some more vegetables or something like that. But wow, holy shit, this is spicy. I'm going to make it through this, but I have a feeling like I am literally going to be like full body sweating by the time this is over. The one thing I can say about that rice being a big brick, I could understand how it would be very field expedient to eat it like this. It's just kind of like big clumps, so you're not going to be chasing it around too much because it just kind of sticks together in big blobs. And I don't know, maybe you just like suck the main down out of the pouch and use the rice to put the fire out. Whew. I don't know if you're really going to be able to drill in on that, but it's kind of strange. It is a mix of ground and flaked off pieces of chicken. Kind of interesting. So like a mixture of like diced or minced and ground chicken. Kind of interesting, I guess. Whew. I don't know if I can finish this. I am literally, my face is completely on fire. I just had to wipe my face with a napkin because it has got me sweating, like literally sweating. I'm sitting in a chair and I'm sweating. That's pretty rough. I'm trying to save that so I can put the fire out all at one time. As much as I love coffee, as much as my mouth is on fire right now, I don't want to put anything warm in my mouth. That's going to have to wait until we get some of this in there to hopefully wash some of the flames out. Oh God, last couple bites. I can totally do this. I can do this. I can do this, even though my face is on fire. Whew. All right, there it is, my friends. There is the last bite of this insanely spicy basil chicken and jasmine rice. Whew. I might have to stop the camera for a few minutes to try to get my mouth to behave, because right now it's a little painful. And this is my lips and my mouth are on fire. I am openly sweating at this point. Holy shit, that was spicy spoon drop. Whew. All right, now we get to put some flames out. Well, now we've gone from about a 5 alarm fire in my face to maybe a 2.5 alarm fire in my face. Wow, that drink, especially combined with a salty ass main, you don't even taste the salt in it, especially after you've eaten all that hot and spicy stuff. You're just glad to have something cold and wet in your face. I'm going to wipe my lips off before I move on to the pineapple and the candy. Maybe I can get some more coffee in while we're filming. Other than that, it might just have to wait because my mouth is literally still burning. Whew, that stuff is interesting. So let's check out this pineapple. And there are certainly like really light bits, which look like pineapple, and then really dark bits that not so much. It didn't say it was mixed fruit. It did just all say pineapple. But that is certainly two very different colors, as you can see. But we'll check it out. Let's try this darker piece first and see if that's actually pineapple or if it's a different fruit mixed in there. Yeah, that darker color piece, definitely not pineapple. Tastes more like a mango or something like that. Definitely has a nice sweet fruit flavor. It's weird. From the visuals of it, I can't really put my finger on what it is. Could be a bunch of different things, but it's really sweet and it's pretty damn good. Let's try what I hope is a piece of pineapple. Maybe this is a completely different species of pineapple that I'm unaware of. That tastes nothing like pineapple. Not a single piece of fruit that I've had yet tastes like pineapple. Let's try this one. No tangy burst of vitamin C. It's just sweet, sugary, chewy. Don't get me wrong, it's good. Doesn't taste anything like pineapple. Doesn't even have any vitamin C kick to it. Certainly could have vitamin C in it, but you certainly can't taste it. This is just sweet dried fruit of, well, undetermined origin, at least as far as I'm concerned. It's really yummy, but it just doesn't taste like pineapple. And there is a pineapple on the label. And it even says dried pineapple, so it's not like I'm losing my mind. Oh, that fish sauce in the trash can. I just had to put the lid on that. I turned around and put that pineapple wrapper in the trash, and oh god, that stuff is so nasty. I'm just going to go ahead and polish off the rest of this fruit. It's just sweet. Doesn't taste like pineapple. It's not bad. I'm a little bummed that it doesn't taste like a real pineapple, or at least any one that I've ever eaten. And now, one of the moments I've been waiting for, it is time to have one of these heartbeat candies and figure out what's gooey and what's hard in this thing. Probably going to be a little hard to show you this on camera, but I'm going to do my absolute best. What the hell? It's got some goo in it that's like sticking to the side of the wrapper. I don't know what that's all about. It smells really interesting, though. It has a strange, sweet, fruity smell to it. Let's just squirt that out. I don't know. Is that really the way it's supposed to be? Or do these things just get so heat stressed that it just kind of screwed the pooch? Maybe it was supposed to be like a little bit gummy on the outside and heat stress just beat it up. Or maybe this is the way the candy's made. I personally don't know. But that's what it's looking like coming out of the package. Very odd. It has a nice, hard candy in the center. Well, I'm just going to stick this in my face. I'm not going to put the wrapper in there, but I'm just going to eat it right out of the wrapper, and we'll get a taste of this little heartbeat candy. What in the ever-loving hell? Oh, really? What the fuck? Okay, so, wow, really? Whose fucking idea was that? That's horrible. So, that sweet, oh, that's so disgusting. I have no clue what the hell that's supposed to be. It starts out very sweet and just kind of like generically fruity flavored, like somewhere a cross between a strawberry and a cherry. And then that hard bit in the middle of this thing. So it's the hard piece in the middle is still really chewy, right? So it's going in the face. I'm tasting the strawberry. I'm tasting the cherry, the kind of generic sweetness. It's okay. It's not too bad. And right as I was getting ready to open my mouth to start to talk, I was chewing the hard candy in the center of that, and it got hot and spicy in my face, as if I needed any more hot and spicy. You figured the candy might be like a sweet relief from all the spice you just sucked up in this basil chicken, but damn, they put more hot and spicy stuff in the center of the candy. Not sure what that's about or whose genius fucking idea that was. That's really nasty. I am absolutely going to save these as part of like the Patreon giveaways when I give away like just big bags of random items from Rations, because I absolutely want one of you guys to experience that goddamn nightmare. That was nasty. Whoever's idea it was to put something hot and spicy in the center of a candy, and it really didn't have a flavor. It was just more of like that feeling, that hot, spicy feeling, and it came with a little bit of a bitter flavor. Nasty. Maybe there's poison in there or something. Maybe this is my last video. Not really sure. That's fucking nasty. Why they did that, I have no clue. That's definitely a regional or cultural thing. That shit's foul. I'm just completely upset about it. Well, guys, that was dinner. It was different. It was interesting. The drinks were really good. That fish sauce can go to hell where it belongs. These candies can go back up the rectum of whoever decided that that flavor profile was appropriate. And I'd be happy to be one of the people just inserting those things and putting them right back where they belong, which is up the ass of the person who decided to make those candies. The main, however, although extraordinarily hot and spicy and a little salty, was actually really good. That was cooking my face. That's all I can say. It was literally cooking my face. It's kind of calmed down at this point, but there is certainly that background heat left over in my mouth from that main. It was really good, but certainly very spicy. So buyer beware. If you like spicy food and stanky fish sauce that smells like a jar full of pennies and candy that will make you want to punch your mama, then this is the ration for you. I'm a little bit mixed on the fence with this guy, but you know, those are the breaks. This is a ration game, and this was a Royal Thai Army single MRE. So thank you guys for joining me here on Ration Nerd for this Royal Thai Army single meal MRE. This was a hell of a lot of fun, very different, very challenging to my flavor palette, very challenging to my tolerance for spicy food. I would definitely recommend getting one, just simply because it's a hell of a lot of fun. And do you want to know where I got this ration? You probably guessed it. My buddy on eBay, whose name I'll put right here, there's a link to him in the description of my video. I pimp for the guy because he's a good friend of mine. He has a lot of really good rations on his eBay store. You should really check him out. And as of right now, he still has at least one of these on his eBay page. Check him out. He's a bitchin' guy. If you get to know him, you'll know he's really cool. And don't forget, if you sign up for Patreon, which will be out next week, you could win this ration. That's totally bitchin'. At least I think it is. And at this point in the video, you guys absolutely know how it goes. At least, I hope you do. And if you're new, let me tell you how it goes. If you can find something cooler than this Royal Thai Army single meal MRE that's going to burn your face off to put in your face hole, you know exactly what to do at this point. Eat 'em up.